Andrew joins us on the Punters Lounge live this morning, speaking about the Canterbury Bell Stakes, sponsored by New Zealand Bloodstock. You go into that two-handed, Andrew. Is it fair to say, though, that Miss Fedra is your number one seed?
Yeah, definitely. Good morning, Jason. Look, she's got the runs on the board. There's no doubt about that. But the other fillies, untapped to the stage.
Miss Fedra, we saw she's $4.40 in the market for the New Zealand Bloodstock Canterbury Bell Stakes. We saw her run second, going back a couple of weeks. What did you make of that performance? It looked like she blew out. Is that what happened?
Yeah, 100%. Look, she went into the race without a trial, and she hadn't had a run since February. So, couldn't be any happy with her performance. Cosy did a really good job riding with the weight off, but look, she just come up short. The other filly had two trials to its credit, so definitely improved a lot with the run. So I'm more than happy.
It's a real hard thing to quantify, I guess, but sort of what improvement do you normally see from a horse from one start to another, 2 weeks in between?
Well, look, she has done a hell of a lot of fast work. I don't do a lot of fast work with my horses, but her recovery from her fast work has definitely improved. Of course, taken blood tests from her as well, and that's showing me that she's definitely on the improve.
Onto a better track today. She's performed admirably on good and dead surfaces, so is that something that pleases you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, happy to get her back on top of the ground as well.
Is she a horse that you want to see just being allowed to run from that draw today? What are the tactics that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I tried to ride a quiet one day. If we all remember it, Ellisland was a disaster. So look, she is a free running filly. There's no doubt about that. So she'll be positive from the gate. Where she ends up in the run from that awkward gate is yet to be seen. But I would imagine she could be, one off the fence and possibly three wide. I'd be quite happy with either way. Definitely down the dog league with her anyway.
She's by Swiss Ace. You've got a showcasing filly that was very good at Ashburton, won by a big margin. Did Sorceress surprise you with what she was able to do?
Yeah, she did surprise me with the manner in which she did win. A filly that's always shown a little bit, no doubt about that. But there was a few reputation horses in that race, so I didn't go in with a lot of confidence. But I knew she was quite a nice filly, and she drew a good gate, and she was claiming 3 kilos too, which definitely helps. But she put them away pretty easily.
We're seeing Sanctify as well run into second. We'll talk more about Sanctify soon. But firstly, Sorceress, she really smashed the line the last 150 metres. How far behind Miss Fedra do you think she might be, and how far away do you think she is from really seeing the horse that you think she could be?
Yeah, she's a hard filly to get a line on. When I got her, she comes from the Ready Run South, so always a pretty fired-up filly. Used to try and rip and tear and do everything 100 miles an hour. She didn't know if she wanted to go that fast. She didn't know which way to put her legs. But she's slowly coming to it. That's the reason I gave her a couple of quiet trials and made her relax. But I think relatively untapped. She can run pretty good sectionals on the track. So she's pretty, as I say, she's untapped. So I wouldn't know. Probably difficult to get a line because Miss Fedra is not the best track worker in the world. She never has been. Whereas this filly, can reel off some sectionals.
Given the draw, do you expect that she will have to come from behind, given what we've seen in just one start, or has she shown you a bit more that she might be able to be sort of rousted to find a more forward position?
Well, I just think from that awkward gate, or from the outside barrier, I think we probably have to ride her midfield or beyond. But as long as she's got cover as well, 3 or 4 wide even, I'm not too concerned. And a filly that with only having one run under her belt, probably better to be out there with a little bit of room rather than being snowed in amongst sort of 16 other runners. So I'm not too concerned about the gate, even though it's wide from the filly, as long as she gets some clear room in the straight and shows that turn of foot that she showed at Ashburton. She's definitely not out of the race.
We saw Go Racing filly by Reliable Man in that video behind her, a really good second. Sanctify lines up in race number 1. What can you tell us about the type of filly that you think she is?
Yeah, she's a filly that I've always liked. She showed us a lot of speed at 2. Unfortunately, she just wasn't strong enough to sort of put it all together race day, but has come back in really good order. And just the same, we've just been riding her quiet at the trials, and we rode her back at Ashburton on purpose, and was really excited to see her hit the line in the manner she did. And just going back to Sorceress, that's why it's hard to get a guide on that race, because I sort of do rate Sanctify reasonably highly as well. So she runs second to Sorceress. So I'm hopeful that the form stacks up. But she's a really nice filly going forward. 1400 would be better than 12, I'll be honest. But I just feel she's definitely going the right way and ridden quiet. She'll be hitting the line strong today.
Is she your horse, Sanctify, that you expect to be able to get to 1,000 guineas?
Well, we won't rule it out with any of the three at this stage, but look, she needs to get a maiden one under her belt pretty quick to just sort of get into the 3-year-old races going forward, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her in 1,000 guineas, no.
Okay, Andrew, we've just had a quick look at your book of runners today. TPL question for those that are watching. Which horse is the best of your chances at Riccarton?
Look, I think Miss Fair has taken the natural improvement from the first run. She has to be my best, but I do, as I said, do like Sanctify a lot.
440 Miss Federer and Sanctify at a great price of $12. Andrew, do you have anything else in your stable that we can note into the Little Black Book or the tab.co.nz favourites tab for those that are online?
Probably not at this stage. I've just got just a nice team of horses. I don't have anything with the flashing light apart from today's runners, to be fair. But look, these are my fillies going forward for the, let's hope, the Group 1 runners in another couple of months' time. So these are the ones to watch.